A couple of weeks ago, we actually got a really big frost, and yet things kind of survived. And so now about 4 days ago, my husband and I and oldest daughter went out and spent an entire evening trying to bring everything in. The only side effect to bringing everything in from the garden is that the task has really only begun. So today I'm super excited to be inviting you all into my kitchen for about 4 days of filming. And I'm just going to be sharing some different things that I can, different ways I preserve things, and really just doing some homemaking along with canning. So I'm excited about today's video, and let's dive in. Applesauce is probably one of my favorite things to can, and it was not that way, however, before I learned this super simple technique. So I know this canning technique is somewhat controversial, and so only do this if you feel comfortable. This is just the way I do it, and we've never had a problem. So starting now, I just chop up all the apples into quarters. They don't have to be that big. I put them in a pot, I put a lid on, and I turn it on about medium heat, and I don't even need to add water. And I just let the apples completely kind of break down and cook until they're extremely, extremely soft. And I don't peel them, I don't core them, I don't do any of that. I would recommend, however, if you don't have a food mill, to at least take out the cores. And then you can blend them up in a food processor. You still don't have to peel them if you blend them in a food processor. It completely blends it smooth. However, if you don't have a food processor, I've also used a potato smasher. I don't know what those are actually called, but that actually works pretty well. But I do recommend if you use that you peel your apples. So after I've put all the soft apples through the food mill, then I reheat up the applesauce again until it's extremely hot. Also, while I am definitely no expert when it comes to canning, and I make mistakes all the time and end up sometimes having jars that don't seal, I have learned some things though that have really helped and just made canning feel a lot more possible to do, especially now with 2 little kids. So one of the tips that I learned quite a few years ago from actually these ladies called the West ladies is to keep your jars hot by putting them in an oven at 250 degrees rather than trying to keep them hot in the dishwasher or just running hot water over them. I found it to be really helpful and to just cut down on time. So I put the jars in the oven on 250 degrees, and once the applesauce is super duper hot, it's boiling, it's steaming, then I pour them into the jars. And this is where things are different. Rather than water bathing the applesauce, I actually then put hot lids, which I reuse my lids, and I still have a pretty high success rate with them sealing. So do whatever you want. I reuse my lids and it works fine. And then I will just dump the jars upside down after I've screwed on the lids really tight, leaving about an inch headspace. And then I let my jars set overnight. And the next morning, they are all completely sealed and ready to go in your pantry. And it's so much easier than water bathing. I love it so much. And so you can do this with applesauce, and you can also do it with different jams. Those are the only things I've ever tried this method with. And you do have to be a little bit careful because some foods, it's not hot enough, like some of the foods that you have to pressure can. But this works really well with applesauce, and I've always had success with it. The next thing that needs to be canned are these beets, and I actually got thinking about it while I was editing this video, and I think I've been canning beets for about 10 years now, almost every single year, which is really fun. But not only do I love canning beets, but also they've always grown really well around here, so that's really the big reason why I can them every year. So the thing with beets though is that they have to boil for a long time until the skins actually can peel off. And so I really like, while I'm canning, finding little pockets throughout the house that are somewhat close to the kitchen where I can focus on cleaning or some type of project. And so in the middle of a disaster in the kitchen, I can still look out and see something that brings me a little bit of peace, because I don't know about you, but for canning, my kitchen just gets destroyed. And so I like to find little areas that I can put some thought and energy into that are close by, that I can hopefully catch the pots before they're boiling over, which they always boil over anyway, and I can still be getting something done. So today it was just some little random areas in the kitchen that have grown very messy and need a little bit of tender love and care. I wanted to take a quick moment in this video to tell you guys about this really cool brand that reached out to me called Simply Earth. And this is such a cool subscription box. You can get it every single month. It has a certain theme. This month's theme was immunity support, which is pretty cool because right now there's a lot of sicknesses going around. It's kind of that time of year. And so each box has a theme. You receive 4 different essential oils in each month's box, and you receive different recipe cards, which I think is so cool because these recipes include all the oils that you receive. And then there's like some other random things in the box too that you can use in the recipes, and it's so fun. So as someone who really wants to become more educated with essential oils, and yes, I love them and I like a lot of the smells, but I don't actually understand how to use them, this is such a cool opportunity because there's a free course you can take after you sign up for the subscription that teaches you about oils, which is so cool. There's a lot of papers that come with the box that explain what the different oils can be used for, and I think that's so neat because it kind of educates you almost instantly. There's these really cool recipe cards. 13% of the total that they make each month of their monthly profit actually goes towards fighting human trafficking, which I think is really cool too, and a really neat thing to help with. And so I made this clear the air diffuser blend this day that I filmed, and it smelled so good, and you could just like feel it killing the germs in my home. I loved it. So I wanted to hop on here and tell you guys about that. If you're interested in essential oils or becoming more educated in them or creating a non-toxic home, then this might be a brand you want to check out. And I have a link down below and a coupon code. And so after you order your first subscription box, you can use that coupon code and actually get $40 off. It's like a $40 gift card off your next purchase, which will get you a lot of good stuff. So it's kind of cool. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so here, like I mentioned again earlier, I like to put the jars in the oven rather than the dishwasher or like a sink of hot water to keep them sanitary. And a big reason why I like to do this, and a little tip that has helped me a lot with feeling like canning's actually possible, is because it keeps my dishwasher free. And so as soon as I start canning anything, I like to clean out the dishwasher. And as I use dishes, as soon as I'm done using them, I put them directly into the dishwasher. And it really keeps me staying a little bit better on top of the dishes. And by having the jars in the oven rather than in the dishwasher, it keeps the dishwasher free to put dishes in, which I create so many dishes when I can. Last year I canned both just regular plain beets, and then I canned pickled beets as well on the same day, and I'm pretty sure I did 6 loads of dishes. It was a lot of work. So that's another little reason why I like to use the oven. And if you hear any little grunts, it's because my newborn is actually sitting on my lap as I do this voiceover. Another little tip that at least works really well in my case is having a 2.5-year-old. If I can the entire day and I don't spend any time with her, halfway through the day, things are not going to go smoothly. And so I've found a way to really keep her engaged, and where she enjoys the process too, is to just try and find every possible thing for her to do to help me and to stay involved. And so it can be anything. It can be helping load the dishwasher, picking up her toys that she made a mess of, just anything that keeps her feeling involved and like I'm actually doing something with her rather than ignoring her. So, and it's really special. It's a fun time. And as long as I'm in the mindset of like, this is building a memory, this is us doing something together, it really works quite well. It's only when I'm in a hurry and I get stressed that it gets frustrating having her help. Another little thing that I wanted to mention is I like to put all of the jar rings either on a spoon or on in this case, I used a rolling pin actually. And that just makes it really easy to get them off quickly. And I put them right by the stove and it's just easier. Lastly, just to finish up, I used this really cool multi-purpose cleaning tablet, and I also have these little glass bottles which I can link down below from Amazon. And this cleaning tablet that came in the Simply Earth box for this month worked so well. I used it and sprayed all my surfaces and cleaned everything. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but I am just the messiest canner, and so there was beet juice everywhere over all of my cabinets, and so this worked super well to clean it up. So anyway, like I mentioned before, the code is Homemaker free, and I will have a link down below if you're interested in checking out the box. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for next week's video. I'm super excited about it, and I will see you then. Bye, you all.